Welcome to Chapter 4 of the NANOOS Tsunami Evacuation Zone Portal Tour. In this final video of the series, I'll show you where you can find additional earthquake and tsunami preparedness information on the portal. First, let's look at the Info button. As I mentioned in Chapter 2, here you'll find information about the maps, the signs of an incoming tsunami, and how the maps were created by the Oregon Department of Geology and Mineral Industries, or DOGAMI, and the Washington Department of Natural Resources, or DNR. Moving down to the Brochures button, here you will find evacuation maps for many coastal communities. These brochures are printable PDFs made by state agencies and offer more detailed maps and evacuation routes for each community. Links to the DOGAMI and DNR websites where the brochures are also listed are available here. Moving to the top buttons, these all have additional earthquake and tsunami science and preparedness information. The preparedness page has suggestions and links for making an emergency planning kit. The Warnings page has a link to the NOAA West Coast and Alaska Tsunami Center, which issues tsunami watches and warnings for the Pacific Northwest. The page also overviews natural warning signs of a tsunami and provides emergency broadcast information. The evacuation page has the vertical evacuation diagram that we looked at in Chapter 2, as well as information of what to do when distant or local earthquake and tsunami events occur. At the bottom of the page are links to local emergency management offices for many coastal communities in Oregon and Washington. The Facts page has an overview of tsunamis in general, as well as the history of tsunamis in the Pacific Ocean and the Pacific Northwest. The final page is the Travel Time page, which has a lot of information about how long it will take local and distant tsunamis to hit the Pacific Northwest. The first graph shows the tsunami wave height at Florence, Oregon from 3 different local earthquake simulations. Tsunami wave height is on the left and time is on the bottom. If we start at time 0, which is when the earthquake occurs, you can see that the highest tsunami wave generally occurs after a half hour after the earthquake in all 3 simulations. Even though that is the largest wave in these simulations, you can see how much water continues to rise and fall for the next 4 hours, so it is important to listen for the all-clear signal from local emergency managers before going back into the tsunami hazard zones. Also, as the information on the page points out, this graph only shows relative wave heights and not actual wave heights that would be expected on the shoreline. Moving down the page, the colored map shows how fast the tsunami after the 1964 Alaska earthquake traveled. Each line represents the position of the tsunami after each hour, and every 5th hour line is labeled. The earthquake happened at the star, and 5 hours after the earthquake, the tsunami was hitting the outer Aleutian Islands and the Pacific Northwest. 10 hours afterwards, the tsunami was hitting southern Japan and Mexico, and 15 hours afterwards, the tsunami was hitting Australia, New Zealand, and Ecuador. The last black and white image is relevant to those who live outside the Pacific Northwest, since the lines show predicted travel time of a tsunami triggered by an earthquake in the Pacific Northwest. That's the end of this video and the NANOOS Tsunami Evacuation Zone Portal Tour. Thanks for watching!